Unstoppable. 7 characteristics of unstoppable people. Number 1, they devote themselves to their true purpose. Number 2, they follow their heart's passion. Number 3, they believe in themselves and their ideas. Number 4, they prepare for challenges. Number 5, they ask for help and build a support team. Number 6, they seek creative solutions. Number 7, they persevere no matter what the challenges are. Creating an unstoppable you. Begin today and enjoy the journey of discovering the unstoppable you. The greatest natural resource in the world is not the earth's waters or minerals, nor the forest or grasslands. It is the spirit that resides in every unstoppable person, and the spirit of the individual benefits us all. Cynthia Kersey. Purpose ignites the spirit. Obstacles cannot crush me. Every obstacle yields to stern resolve. He who is fixed to a star does not change his mind. Leonardo da Vinci. I'm doing what I'm doing for the rest of my life because it's so important. I've seen a child cry and I've seen a child smile. I like the smiles. And it's really important to me to know that I helped make one. Linda Bremner. If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin into his nest again, I shall not live in vain. Emily Dickinson. If I can stop one heart from breaking. I learned I was not, as most Africans believe, the victim of my circumstances, but the master of them. Legson Kayira. Here is the test to find whether your mission on earth is finished. If you're alive, isn't it? And if you're alive, it isn't. Fear not thy life shall come to an end, but rather that it shall never have a beginning. Cardinal Newman. Trading a fortune for a hammer and saw. Our vision to eliminate poverty housing drives us to overcome the numerous obstacles that came into our path, and with God's help, we will achieve our goal one house at a time. Millard Fuller. Once I asked my counselor for advice about my vocation. I asked, how can I know if God is calling me and what He is calling me? He answered, if you know, you'll know if happiness, and if you have happiness with the idea that God calls you to serve Him and your neighbor, this will be proof of your vocation. Mother Teresa. Exercise your vision in a world of fitness. She refused to think small. This has not been just a business. It's been a mission. Because of that, it wasn't about to let anyone stop me from doing what I needed to be done for myself and for the other women who come to me for help. Sherilyn Powell. Many persons have the wrong idea about what constitutes true happiness, and it is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose. Helen Keller. Serious monkey business. A woman trains unlikely soldiers in a war of independence. We both felt that if we did not see it through to the end, no one else would be crazy enough to do it. To give up would have been a disservice to quadriplegics and to ourselves. Mary Joan Willard. Everyone has his own specific vocation in life. Therein he cannot be replaced, nor can his life be repeated. Thus, everyone's task is unique as a specific opportunity to implement it. Viktor Frankl. I've always wanted to be somebody, but I should have been more specific. As a man rows the oar in a boat. In their own words, some people bring out the best in you. An old man going down a lone highway came into the evening cold and gray, to a chasm vast and deep and wide, through what was flowing in sullen tide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The swollen stream held no fears for him. But he turned when safe on the other side, and built a bridge to span the tide. Old man said, a fellow pilgrim near, you are wasting your strength with building here. Your journey will end with the ending day. You never again must pass this way. You have crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build this bridge at the even tide? The builder lifted his old gray head. Good friend, in the path I have come, he said. There followeth after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. The swollen stream which was not to me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross this twilight dim. Good friend, I am building the bridge for him. Will Allen Dromgoole, the bridge builder. The personal action plan ignites your purpose in your spirit. Number 1, discover your purpose. Action. Start by writing how and what you want to be remembered by. How I want to be remembered. The very least you can do with your life is to figure out what you hope for, and the most you can do is to live inside of that hope. Not to admire it from a distance, but to live right in it, under its roof. Barbara Kingsolver. Describe your action and how you want to see yourself doing and what you want to see yourself doing for others. Your purpose in life is to find out the action that you want to help seeing yourself do for others. Describe the type of person and organization that you want to serve. Describe the goal that you want to co-create with a person or organization or cause. Your actions and actions things in your mind is to acknowledge, advance, alleviate, assist, build, communicate, create, defend, demonstrate, discover, educate, elevate, empower, encourage, enroll, entertain, explore, express, give, heal, help, illuminate, improve, influence, inspire, instruct, liberate, listen, nurture, organize, praise, promote, prepare, reclaim, remember, renew, serve, strengthen, support, worship. Person, organization, and causes. Abused, at-risk youth. List of individuals caused from interest of helping. Abused, at-risk youth, animal protection, bereaved, business professionals, chemical dependent, children, child protection, church, college students, community issues, crime victims, disadvantaged, environment, family issues, grassroots politics, homeless, human rights, hunger, immigrants, life-threatening illnesses, literacy, minorities, organ donation, physically challenged, politically environment, poor, poverty housing, safety, senior citizens, teen pregnancy, women, women's issues, veterans, youth. Third is a column of goals and results, creating individual group on a cause of goals of acceptance. With your goals, have acceptance, faith, leaving a legacy, achievement, freedom, love, being the best, growth, making a contribution, believing in themselves, health, vitality, safety, being capable, independence, security, competency, joy, self-actualization, dignity, justice, self-confidence, enjoyment, living responsibly, self-esteem, equality, living life to the fullest, self-sufficiency, excellence, learning, serving others. Here's some examples of some things in the mind. The purpose in life is to instruct or at-risk youth or raise self-esteem. My purpose in life is to maybe educate the public of importance of organ donations or enable people's lives to be saved. Purpose in life to support individuals, physical challenges, develop their independence. Purpose in life is to encourage and instruct people from all walks of life to become greater. Make no plans. Make no little plans. They have no magic to stir men's blood. Make big plans. Aim high in hope and work. Integrate purpose into your daily life. Actions. So identify and integrate the purpose into your life through a job, business, or community. Sign up for a committee. Sign up for a committee that you've been saying no to. Volunteer 1 day per month and serve someone else. Mentor a new employee at work. Become a big brother or sister. Support love letters by writing to children with serious illnesses. Join Habitat and Humanity and help build a home for families in need. Teach someone how to read. Take an extra step above the beyond and provide services and customers to find a solution to a problem outside of your job description. Commit yourself to taking action this week. Make a phone call. Set your goals. There's no failure except in no longer trying, and there's no defeat except within. No real insurmountable barrier save our own inherent weakness of purpose. Albert Hubbard. Passion fuels exhaustible energy. You have to find something that you have enough love to be and able to take risks and jump over the hurdles and break through the bricks, walls that are always going to be in place in front of you. If you don't have that kind of feeling for what you're doing, you'll stop at the first giant hurdle. George Lucas. Rising from the rubble. It would take a miracle, so you have to find the miracle. We all face obstacles of one kind or another in life, but if you let your deepest passion serve you as fuel, you'll be able to travel through any road and back and move on and make dreams happen. Dr. Francisco Buccio. Choose something you love to do. Only passions, great passions, can elevate the soul to great things. Diderot. Inside every daydream was a Hollywood script. Passion paved the way. Doing something I really loved has served my career more than anything else, except for my wife and family. Stephen J. Cannell. Make sure that your career you choose one that you enjoy. And if you don't enjoy what you're doing, it'll be difficult to give the extra time and effort and devotion it takes to be a success. If it's a career that you find fun and unenjoyable, then you'll do whatever it takes. You will give freely of your time and effort, and you will not feel that you are making a sacrifice in order to be a success. Kathy Whitworth, professional golfer. Give a new shape. Add soul. I believe the reason that we were able to do this is because we saw a need in the market and had incredible passion, and we were committed to making it happen. Our enthusiasm was totally infectious, and we found people who wanted to help us. Sherry Poe. Our loan officers are considering your application now, madame, as the loan officers in the background laughing. The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire. Marshall Falk. dancing to the rhythms of your heart. Many of us are afraid to follow our passions and pursue what we want because it means taking risks or even facing failure. But to pursue your passion with all your heart and soul is success in itself. The greatest failure is to have not ever really tried. Robin Alon. And I would rather be a failure doing something I love than being a success doing something I hate. George Burns. In your own words, without a doubt, one attribute is to contribute greatly to what you've accomplished with enthusiasm. Early I've decided is not to allow opinions of others stop you from pursuing your passions, just to become a musician. Your personal action plan, energizing your passion. Number 1, you'll be highly motivated. Passion is your fuel that drives you. It's an inexhaustible resource for energy and optimism. When you're passionate, you're focused, purposeful, and determined, without even having to try. Your body, mind, and spirit are all working in unison towards the same goal when you're passionate. Marcia Weider, author of Making Your Dreams Come True. Work will seem like play. Number 3, others will share your passion and enthusiasm, and you could sweep other people off of their feet. But you can't do it if you don't have enthusiasm. Step 1, identify your passion. Action 1, determine what you love. Your likes are learning, asking questions, undertaking challenging, multi-faced projects, encouraging others, reading books, brainstorming. Those are your likes. Your dislikes are listening to negative people and whiners, engaging in small talk, managing lots of employees, giving people bad news, firing or rejecting, doing paperwork, and examples. Your likes are meeting positive, action-oriented people, creating new products, working out of your home, having big goals. Your strengths, you're visionary, you think big, action-oriented, accept total responsibility for your destiny, passionate, you're enthusiastic, energetic, upbeat, successful sales background, extremely outgoing, focused, committed, resourceful and creative, and you think out of the box, and you believe in myself. Support your family, you support by family, supported by family, strong desires to be successful. And action 2 is to identify your activities based on your loves. Become a nun or minister, join the Peace Corps, become a trainer inside of a major corporation, teach an adult or a child to read, donate time to a favorite charity, become a foster parent or grandparent, become a mentor, become a teacher, spearhead support groups or church, volunteer at a hospital, become a counselor on a hotline, spend time with a niece or nephew, write a book. Imagine all the things to make a richer life. Years wrinkle the skin, but to give up enthusiasm wrinkles the soul. Anonymous. Belief sustains the journey. I tell you the truth. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to a mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Matthew 17:20. Road warriors of a different kind, father, son, and a fighting spirit. For as long as I can remember, people said I would never be able to do anything. My parents and I believed I could, and we've been proving them wrong ever since. Rick Hoyt. I claim to be more than an average man with below average capabilities. I have not the shadow of a doubt that any man or woman can achieve what I have if he or she would put forth the same effort and cultivate the same hope and faith. Muhammad Gandhi. You don't know what you don't know won't hurt you. In fact, can save your life. You look straight in the eye and say, don't tell me it's impossible until after I've already done it. Pam Lantos. These motivational tapes have really inspired me. I'm going to make millions of dollars, buy my own company, retire early. Then I'm going to write a novel and a symphony, and I'm going to give all the profits to charity. And then next month, I'll figure out how to do it. Something to talk about. Mark Shepard, presented in Texas Instruments, explained his triumph in the 1970s over the industry giants like Westinghouse, GE, and RCA. Those companies knew all the things that weren't possible, he said, and we didn't. We were stupid. From $0 to $15 million, she believed in herself, not what experts thought. Everybody's an expert in giving advice on how you cannot do something. So forget about everybody, and then when you encounter a hurdle, and do that very week, view as an opportunity, not the end of the world. Do whatever you need to do to get past it quickly, and if you believe in your dream, you'll definitely get there. Maria Elena Ibanez. If you want to find some experts, start to do something. In 10 minutes, people will come around all over the world just to tell you how it can't be done. Oh, wrong timing. Oh, it'll never work. Don't do it. You'll go broke. There's no market. Something to talk about. And I was a mathematics graduate student in University of California, Berkeley, and I arrived late in class. For several days later, I made a breakthrough and solved 2 problems. 6 weeks later, on Sunday morning, I awakened by a pounding at the door, and I was startled to see my professor. Professor George, he was shouting, "You solved them." "Yes, of course," I said. "I wasn't supposed to." The professor explained 2 problems on the blackboard were not homework. They were 2 famous outstanding problems that landed leaded mathematician so far it has not been able to be solved. He could hardly believe it. George Dantzig is a professor of operations research computer science at Stanford University. Something to talk about. You can do anything in the world, anything you want to do in life if you have a fierce belief in yourself, a strong will, a big heart, and some role models to inspire you. Tyrone Muggsy Bogues in the Land of the Giants. For me to write, I had to quit my job and live off the savings I hoped to add writing to pile up garbage and salvage manuscripts. But there was no reason to believe in anything else, despite my fear. After 2.5 years, I finally finished my handwritten manuscript and set the first wives club. Olivia Goldsmith. We're still pretty far apart. I'm looking for a 6-figure advance and they're refusing to read the manuscript. Something to talk about. Mary Kay Ash's mascot under a cosmetic company is a bumblebee. Because of its tiny wings and heavy body, aerodynamically the bumblebee shouldn't be able to fly, but the bumblebee doesn't know that, so it flies anyway. In their own words, I was caught in a dilemma. Susan Robinson. I'm the greatest, I said, even before I knew I was, so don't tell me I can't do something. Don't tell me it's impossible. Don't tell me I'm not the greatest. I'm double the greatest. Muhammad Ali, professional boxer. Your personal action plan, charting your journey to belief. 10 steps to developing an unstoppable belief system. Step 1, take an immediate action. Step 2, acknowledge your untapped potential. Action must be realistic assessment of your current abilities. Now imagine your abilities have increased by 10%. What should be done in the immediate possessing of that 10%? Ability, skills, and talent-wise. Everything is possible for him who believes. Mark 9:23. Step 3, watch your internal language. You can overcome negative thoughts by focusing on big thoughts. How on earth did I or could I have accomplished my goal? It's too big, too difficult, too impossible. Sound familiar? Start self-talking of ways you can believe and achieve it. Types of I know my goal is achievable because others have accomplished it before me and I'm absolutely committed to making it happen and I'm willing to do whatever is necessary to achieve my true heart's desire. Action. List some of the negative self-talk and throw it away. I tried to block out all negative thoughts and I kept reading books on faith to tell you how to just to keep exercising your faith and continue to believe. Jackie Joyner Kersey. Step 4. Neutralize fear and risk. Neutralize fear and risk. You are a child of God. You're playing a small does not serve the world. You're playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us. It is in everyone. As well as we let our light shine, we are unconscious. Give our other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears and presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. Step 5. Visualize success. Visualize your success and identify a specific goal that supports your purpose and passion. Imagine yourself achieving the goal in every single detail. That's what you should be in every single moment, looking at it. Success is a state of mind. If you want success, start seeing yourself as a success. Step 6. Practice affirmations. Napoleon Hill, author of the best-selling Think and Grow Rich, suggests that repeating positive affirmations to your subconscious mind is an excellent method for developing faith. Take your list and write a statement of exactly what you want to accomplish and go quiet and close the closet and repeat it into your mind. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Step 7. Find others to believe with you. Find others to believe with you. Take an inventory of people in your life. Identify 1 or 2 individuals who are supportive and can provide encouragement. If you can't think one person who fits into the category, Chapter 6 identifies the best places to meet people who can in initial stages of implementing. Step 8. Draw strength from a higher power. It's unstoppable individuals. The power of positive thinking. Vincent Peale suggests that we repeat only times daily is that God is within me and God is helping me and God is guiding me. Acknowledge that God is within you and nothing can defeat you. Believes that you receive the power from the Creator. By stating that affirmation such to this several times each day, visualizing God's presence, your faith will deepen. My faith means a lot to me, and I don't feel that I have to do it on all my own. I think that I can face any challenging situation and feel there's a source of strength beyond myself, and that it's not all just on my shoulders. Elizabeth Dole. Often your tasks will be many, and the more than you think you can do, often the road will be rugged, and the hills unsurmountable too. But always remember the hills ahead are never as steep as they seem, and with your faith in your heart, start upward and climb till you reach your dream. For nothing in life that is worthy is ever too hard to achieve. If you have the faith to try, and you have the faith to believe. For faith is a force that is greater than knowledge or power or skill, and many defeats turn to triumph, and you trust in God's wisdom and will. For faith is a mover of mountains. There's nothing that God cannot do. But start out today with faith in your heart and climb till your dreams come true. Helen Steiner Rice. Climb till your dreams come true. I'm looking for a lot of men who have an infinite capacity to not know what can't be done. Henry Ford, dealing with critics and rejection. Find people who know that have infinite capacity to not know what can't be done. Critics Corner. How long will you go on training all day in a gymnasium and living in a dream world? Arnold Schwarzenegger family pleas for him to get into a respectable job. Mr. Universe is what he became. Liquidate the Critics Corner. Liquidate the business right now and recoup whatever cash you can. If you don't, you'll end up penniless, the attorney of cosmetic tycoon Mary Kay Ash, weeks before she opened her first store. It's a cutthroat business out there and you've got no chance of success, the accountant of Estee Lauder, founder of the multi-billion-dollar cosmetic empire, said. The language on the floor is too rough and there's no ladies' room. The response of officials on the New York Stock Exchange when Muriel Seibert wanted to buy a seat in 1967. She bought a seat on the exchange anyway and remained the only woman there for 9 years. You have the perfect voice for broadcasting, but you should get a job as a secretary. We're not using women, one of the announcers said at NBC Radio to Sally Jesse Raphael when she applied. Working out with weights causes athletes to lose their speed and agility. Bodybuilding causes hemorrhoids and hernias. The view of health experts called from fitness guru TV Jack LaLanne a nut. You can't play the piano, and God knows you can't sing. You'd better learn to weave chairs so you can support yourself. A comment by Ray Charles' teacher. It's too hard to crack into the late night ratings. Television isn't ready for a black TV show host. This is America, and you can't forget it. Conventional wisdom prior to Arsenio Hall's acceptance of Paramount's offer to host a late night talk show. You have a nice voice, but it's nothing special, what a teacher said to Diana Ross after an audition. You will never make the cover of Vogue because you don't have blonde hair or blue eyes, a remark to Share by photographer Richard Avedon. You're a good editor with a promising future in business. Why would you want to throw it all away trying to be a writer? I read your book. Frankly, it's not that good. A New York publisher comments to James Missioner, first book Tales of the South Pacific. You're foolish to try to sell sparkling water in the land of Coca-Cola drinkers. Advice given to Gustave Levin of several consulting firms when hearing about his plans to launch Perrier in the United States. Step 10. Dealing with experts. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. Shunryu Suzuki, scholar. Expert knowledge is based on past experience. It's not applied to an innovative idea for the future. Expert knowledge is based on past experience. It may not apply to an innovative idea for the future. Experts are seldom known for their creativity and imagination. Pioneers and innovators use the intuition. Experts use data. Experts have vested interest in preserving the status quo. Gene Ladram offers an insight of profiles of a genius. Major problem with experts' opinions, they tend to see to be experts to have a strong desire to preserve and validate the present way of things, and they don't go out of the new way in the box. Structure of scientific revolutions. Experts can tend to be stuck versus pioneering. No one will stand in front of a TV screen and play a game with no physical action like pinball. Executive comment after viewing early demonstrations of Pong, the first video game and Atari founder. No one will buy a tape player that doesn't record. Opinion of market researchers at Sony when Chairman Akio first promoted the Walkman. It's a huge risk and it'll never fly. An aeronautical engineer evaluation of Bill Lower's design for a jet. Personal computers are a hobbyist fad. Prediction of IBM, Intel, HP, Atari, and countless other electronic companies. People will never rent videotapes. They'll never buy them. Opinion of media experts who were later proven wrong by Jane Fonda's exercise tapes. A global 24-hour news network will never work. Networks told response to Ted Turner's plans for CNN. A global 24-hour network. There's no market for it. If there were, many airlines would already be offering it. You won't be able to find reliable couriers. If it were, conclusion advisors of Fred Smith, the founder of Federal Express. The action is next time an expert attacks your dream. Take comfort in realizing that people who achieve some of the greatest accomplishments in humankind were also told that their goals were not possible. Trust your intuition and your inner heart's desire and continue forward. Your confidence will grow every time you take risks and every time you overcome a fear of known. Believe in yourself, and there will come a day when others will have no choice but to believe with you. Preparation builds the foundation. There's no sudden leap into a stratosphere. There's only advancing step by step, slowly and tutoriously up the pyramid towards your goals. Ben Stein. A lifetime of planning pays off. To an ex-cop, selling burgers meant selling hope. I've always had a vision to do bigger and better things, not just for myself, but my family and community. And I don't know what it all takes. I don't know. You don't do it all at once. It takes planning and preparation to get big things done, and I was willing to spend 15 years preparing myself for the challenge. I don't know if anybody really rockets to success. I think success is a process. I believe that my first Easter speech at Kurushko Baptist Church at age 3.5 was the beginning, and that every other speech, every other book I've read, every other time I spoke in public was a building block. For the first time I sat down to an audition in front of a television camera, and somebody said, "Read this." What allowed me to read it so comfortably was the fact that I had been doing it a while. I think in luck and preparation, meeting opportunity. Oprah Winfrey. Preparing to win. How Maury's will got the first base and kept going. With a will to win. Prepare to win. Lucky and luck is an opportunity. Meeting preparation. Maury Wills. Something to talk about. I hated every minute of the training, but I said, don't quit now, suffer now, and at least you live the rest of your life as a champion. Muhammad Ali. Being first and second nature to this high court judge. Her motto, dogged preparedness. There is no better way to dispel your critics than to be the most prepared and to have your craft together. Know what you're talking about. Don't wing it. Excellence and thoroughness will always win people's respect. Justice Leah Sears. Something to think about. What do the following Hollywood superstars have in common? The following Hollywood superstars. Lucille Ball, Gary Cooper, Bill Cosby, Kevin Costner, Robert De Niro, Robert Duvall, Clark Gable, Terry Garr, Janet Gaynor, Whoopi Goldberg, Mark Harmon, Dustin Hoffman, Bob Hope, Casey Kasem, Michael Landon, Sophia Loren, Mary Tyler Moore, Ronald Reagan, Burt Reynolds, Tom Selleck, Suzanne Summers, Sylvester Stallone, Donald Sutherland, John Wayne, Marilyn Monroe. They all began their film careers at the bottom as extras. Your personal action plan, preparing for your future. Identify the desired result. Write a clear and concise statement of specifically what you want to accomplish and by what date. Make sure the statement is consistent with your purpose and passion. Step 2. Determine the skills you need. Tips. If you're currently working on a large company or taking advantage of wealth opportunities available for learning, educational resources offered by companies are substantial. Create a plan of action. Identify the desired results. Write down the first series of best-selling books or goal-inspired instruct people on how to become aware of greater possibilities. Unstoppable. Determine all skills needed. Number 1, researching. 2, interviewing. Writing, editing skills. Create a plan of action. Researching. Hire individuals who research skills to assist locating unstoppable people. Interviewing. The action. Strengthen the cause. The heights of great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they were their own companions, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they were while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night. Strengthen the cause, and you can make it, but it's easier if you don't have to do it alone. Betty Ford. Until he learned to ask for help. Until he learned to ask for help. Will you help me? These are the only words you need to say. Will you help me? Will you help me? And someone will help you. Tom Harkin. If you can't do it yourself, don't be afraid to rely on others. To help you can accomplish your goals. Oprah Winfrey. He achieved the impossible with little help from his friends. It's easy to be ignorant and say, I don't know about the problem. But once you know, once you've seen it in front of their eyes, then you have a responsibility to do something. There's strength in numbers, and we all work together as a team. We could be unstoppable. Craig Kyleberger. A cat pushing open a door, but the mouse has 4 other mice helping him push it back shut. The young do not know enough to be prudent, and therefore they attempt the impossible and achieve it generation after generation. Pearl S. Buck. Mother knows best how a matriarch builds a business, how a matriarch built a business family and saved the family business. If you don't know something, don't be afraid to ask for help. And I have developed over the years a whole group of important people who are important to me that I consider mentors. Now they may be a gardener, they may be a gardener, whether they do estate down in the road. They may be a farmer who milks his cow. They may be a very special professor. It may be someone I've never even met, but only read about, like the author Gabriel Garcia Marquez. One of my dreams is to meet him, but those are my mentors. George Eliot, the great novelist. Jane Austen is a mentor of mine in terms of language. So I've informally constructed this structure in my life of mentors. Martha Stewart. He failed to make the grade in school, but his team concept helped him build a business empire. My motto has always been that anybody can do it better than me. By enlisting the support of others and giving them equity in the business, I was able to focus on my strengths and develop a business that benefited everybody. Paul Ortfalea. I know my grades are lousy, but you always said, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Kid telling a parent with a report card of a D. Going for the gold. Friendship takes the city to Olympian heights. For an endeavor anywhere near the magnitude, your success depends on the capacity of other people to carry it successful to the end. There is no lone rangers. My individual effect on the outcome probably ended 5 years ago, as other individuals through empowerment. Took significant responsibilities with zealous commitment, but we all enjoyed success. Billy Payne. People need role models at every stage of their lives, not just when they're kids. Don't expect a role model to come along all by himself or herself. There are plenty of classy people out there who want to help. Instead of waiting for somebody to take you under their wing, go out there and find a good wing and climb under it. Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's Old-Fashioned Hamburgers. When spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion. Ethiopian proverb. Step 1. Identify role models for strength and inspiration. Action is to create your own gallery of unstoppable role models. This concept was provided by Christopher Hegarty, author and speaker of Dear Friend. 20 years offering seminars, he participates and agrees with this idea greatly impacted their lives. You might want to try it as well. The capacity for hope is the most significant fact of life, and it gives human beings a sense of destination and the energy to get started. Norman Cousins. Step 2. The inventory your existing contacts. Step 2. Inventory your existing contacts. You're only a phone call away from anyone. Draw your own existing relationships. Develop your own inner circle. From the beginning of time, those who became leaders were not necessarily the strongest or fiercest, but for those with the most friends or connections. William Allman, author of Stone Age Present. Find candidates in your inner circle, nonprofit organizations, professional associations and conventions from your existing place of employment. Find a coach. A wise man learns by the experience of others. An ordinary man learns by his own experience. And a fool learns by nobody's experience. Vern McClellan. Step 4. Develop a mastermind group, your personal advisory board. Tap unconscious resources. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. Michael Jordan. Putting up a new face on business. The creation of a caring corporation is, if you want to start a successful business, don't choose an industry that's already dominated by several large companies. Don't plan on selling products without an advertising campaign. And don't mix politics with sales. We saved us over and over was our willingness to recognize that what wasn't working and quickly identify that in a new way of looking at it. By remaining flexible and open to creative solutions, the results have been miraculous. Anita Roddick. Something to think about. How to rescue a neighborhood creatively was Rocky's theme. I don't let obstacles get me down. I focus on how to overcome them. You can work around any obstacle by undergoing it or going under it if it's too high, going over it if it's too low, but there's always a way. James Rocky Robinson. To be unstoppable, even if you were blind, you would swing the golf club at the ball, even hitting a tree if the tree's in the way, and swing until the golf club bends. You may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. Margaret Thatcher. The smell of success. He was nutty enough to find his new ways, but past the old obstacles. All of this was possible because I didn't stop at the first 100th no I received. If one approach didn't work, I would try another one and never ever gave up. John Montner. The truth is that the average bottom of the ladder person is potentially as creative as the top executive who sits on the big office. The problem is that the person at the bottom of the ladder doesn't trust his own brilliance and doesn't therefore believe in his own ideas. Dr. Robert H. Scholler. Tough times never last, but tough people do. The power of creative spirits, moving mountains in the Appalachians. Things don't just happen, you have to make them happen. You can't count on nothing working out exactly as planned, but by working hard and creatively looking at the solutions, you will find your way around all of life's obstacles. Eula Hall. In your own words, I was 22 and an accountant student at university, and after 2 semesters, I realized I didn't want to make a living as an accountant anymore, but as an entrepreneur. Tim Bearer, successful business executive who looks back at the moment of a youthful creative moment where he changed the direction of his education and his life. Tapping your creativity. Step 1, developing your inborn creativity. Creativity is a muscle. Imagination is more important than knowledge. That's what Albert Einstein said, and he should have known. Arguably, Einstein was one of the most intelligent people who ever lived. Exercise for expanding your creativity. Expanding your creativity. One of your favorite exercises that should be illustrated to empower creative problem solving comes from Dr. Robert Schuller. He used the exercise in seminars more than 30 years. To complete the exercise, you need only a pencil and a sheet of paper. First, identify a problem and write the problem across the top of the sheet. Then write numbers 1 through 10 vertically down the left side of the sheet of the paper. Finally, write 10 possible solutions to the problem. The purpose of the exercise is to stretch your imagination, tap the unconscious resources. The next step is to exercise and examine each of the solutions across, and ones that don't lead anywhere. In Schuller's case, just cross them down. Step 2 is just be flexible. Your imagination is the preview to life's coming attractions. And your imagination is the preview to life's coming attractions. Albert Einstein. We are told never to cross a bridge till we come to it, but this world is owned by people who haven't crossed bridges in their imagination far ahead of the crowd. Speaker's Library. An inventor is a crackpot who suddenly becomes a genius when his idea catches on. Perseverance rewards. If I were asked to give what I consider the single most useful bit of advice for all humanity, it would be this. Expect trouble as an inevitable part of life, and when it comes, hold your head high. Look it squarely in the eye and say, I'm bigger than you, and you cannot defeat me. Ann Landers, door-to-door hero, walking miles to stand on your own 2 feet. Decide what you want out of life and look on the positive side and never give up until you achieve it. Bill Porter. He just won't take no for an answer as a man's pushing a door holding a salesman from coming in. From rolling dough to rolling in the dough, an entrepreneur redefines failure and success. If I feel these setbacks were tools to me to learn from, I use them as stepping stones. I didn't see them as failures. Failure is when you stop trying, and I never did that. Tom Monaghan. I'm making a list of all the things I've learned in life. Well, actually, I'm making 2 lists. What is the other list? Why is the other list longer than the other? Well, these are the things I've learned the hard way. If at first you don't succeed, try 47 times. Keep going. Say, I will do it. I will. Maxie Filler. Don't stop and don't have to be the fastest. You don't have to be the fastest as far as a snail moving on the sidewalk next to everybody stuck in stop traffic. A dream goes to waste. Who says you can't fight City Hall? Don't ever give up. Take it all the way. Somebody will finally see it your way, and they will help you. Laura Beth Moore. I'm very good at visualizing my success, but other people are equally as good as visualizing my failures. In their own words, as far as back as you can remember, what business does for former housewives? Shirley Muldowney now competes with the IHRA Circuit, International Hot Rod Association. Perseverance rewards your efforts and never, ever quit. Number 1, focus on your goal. Unstoppable achievers keep their eyes on the targets at all times. The action is to create a constant reminder of your goal. By now, I'm hoping you identify your purpose, written your statement down, calling it creation, creating a dream that evokes your passion. The next step is to keep your dream and the goals that support it in the forefront of your mind. Keep all your dreams and goals that support it in the front of your mind. Here's just a few of the many ways you could do so. Write your statement or calling on goal on note cards, post-its, notes. Strategically place them throughout your house and office. Record your statement or calling on goals on audio, cassette, and play the tape as you're driving, doing chores, or resting, or meditation. Put your goals on a screensaver or your computer. Number 2, accept failures as learning experiences. Our greatest glory is not ever failing, but in rising every time we fall. Confucius. Many people dream of success. To me, success has been achieved only through repeating failure and introspect. In fact, success represents the 1% of your work that results from 90% of what is called failure. Soshiro Honda. Far better is it dare of mighty things to win glorious triumphs, overthrow checkered by failure, than to rank in those poor spirits who never enjoy nor suffer much because they live in a gray twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat. Theodore Roosevelt. Unstoppable failures. Brooks Roberts called the greatest third baseman on times who set back to the minors after a disappointing year in the majors. Unstoppable failures. Howard Head, an inventor who revolutionized the sport skiing and tennis, spent 18 months building 6 pairs of metal skis. It took me 15 years to discover that I had no talent for writing, but I couldn't give up because by then I was too famous. Robert Benchley. Be patient, cultivate long-term mentality, and don't ever let me ever hear you use the word impossible. If I've learned anything over the course of my career, there's no such thing as impossible. Overnight, the impossible may be possible, but over time, the impossible certainly becomes possible. Earl Graves. Never quit. A bold, unstoppable spirit. Your legacy is a bold, unstoppable spirit. Devote yourself to a true purpose. Follow your heart's passion. Believe in yourself and your ideas. Prepare for challenges. Ask for help and support from others. Creatively seek solutions. Persevere no matter what the challenges are. They appear as giants, unstoppable. They appear as giants driven to achieve, not of the ordinary fabric weaved. They faced with adversity and obstacles too. They refuse to be stopped, continue to barrel through. What keeps them going, what holds them on track, when so many others are wont to turn back. How are they different? What sets them apart? Could I barrel through too, with such strength in my heart? The truth is so simple, it's hard to admit it. They're not lucky or blessed or specifically gifted. Like anyone else, they too have doubts and fears, but the difference with them is how they live their years. They live with purpose, a quest that gives rise to pursuing what counts with no compromise, burning with passion, turning work into love, enlisting support from around and above. The whole is envisioned with the end in mind, carefully planned, continuously refined. When challenges loom and seems to prevail, they chart a new course, alter their sail. They cling to their faith, their vision persists. They simply will not cease or desist. Call them stubborn, they refuse to give in. They persist, they persevere, and yes, they do win. If you pursue the dream of your heart and follow their path and don't wait to start, you realize the dreams break through all obstacles and become as they are, triumphant, unstoppable. Cynthia Kersey, Unstoppable.